get up there. Hey, here we go, gentlemen.
Well, it's still a good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're 1 minute from noon, but good morning, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to hit noon as I'm talking. We'll say good afternoon. I'm Rob Sparrow with Corinne Quiggle, kicking it courtside here in the 2024 AVP Manhattan Open, and we go high noon on what could be a showdown at the OK Corral. I'm going to go ahead and let Corinne jump in and talk about our matchup here, who we're going to see.
Yeah, well, really, this is a matchup we could also see in the finals. So two very good teams, actually all Olympians on our court here, with Miles Partain back to serve, Andy at the net, and Ta.Crabb and Taylor Sander at receiving this ball.
First serve will be Miles Partain. He goes to that short serve right out the gate. Sander goes wrist away. Trap set, and Crabb stuck having to block at the net. And they are immediately contesting that Miles touched the net, and we're starting it off with drama already, Corinne.
Yeah, the top ref usually has a pretty good vision of that net, and I didn't see it either, but I like I would also argue it if I was on the other side, for sure.
Okay, then that makes it okay. If Corinne argues, it's got to be okay.
You always want to ask the ref and make sure that they're watching, bring it to their attention.
Kind of an awkward two-ball attempt because they served the short ball. Taylor passed it tight on the net, and Crabb had to knock it over. But I'm curious, strategy-wise, why do you think they're going to a short serve game already?
Well, the Taylors are so good at moving the ball around. They're very explosive players, and I think that they're just trying to show them something different. It's definitely a good strategy early on to move them and try to maybe shorten their approach. So we'll see if they continue that or start moving them short and deep and side to side.
Benesh starts it off with a kill off the block, making it 2-1 for Benesh and Partain. The Paris Olympians showing up here in their home beach and tagging the end line. Ta.Crabb, of course, think it's out.
Asking for a challenge. Will you come and check? Oh, wipes the ball mark. So ref must have said he saw the line bounce, and lines are in. So lines are always good.
I love the strategy deployed by players on the court here. 3 serving to 1. Crabb on the attack, and Crabb unleashes the beast down the line. 2 serving to 3. That brings Taylor Sander back to serve, the former AVCA All-American from BYU. Corona, California, Huntington Beach as well. 2-ball bombing run by Andy Benesh, and these guys are letting it all hang out early.
Yeah, I think it's great that Taylor's bringing that aggressive serve so early on, because we know that that's what Miles and Andy want to do. They want to have their 2-ball. They want to be jump setting, so it's really important to put that pressure on their pass and serve receive.
Partain back serve with the 2-point lead at 4-2. Tight pass, but saving it and turning his body towards the net was Crabb. And Crabb already having some issue with the refereeing. There was a net. I'm not quite sure if it's a net or the wind, because the wind is really beginning to blow out of the southwest now.
Yeah, definitely a windier day than yesterday, but that could work to their advantage from the service line, and probably at the Taylors' advantage with Andy and Miles going back to their jump setting game.
Deep serve off the jump serve. Benesh going high off the block, the 6'5" Sander. Some basic ball being played early on, but that 2-ball, you have to respect that. We saw a lot of that in their previous match on court 1.
Yeah, we also saw the change that they made during the Olympics when they were playing a little bit more straight up, and then changed completely and started passing and jump setting every ball, which I like. I think that's their game, and I'd like to see them continue that.
Like to say hello to everyone in the crowd zone. Both Corinne and I are going to be answering questions for you as we watch the play and even during breaks. But wow, it is a fun scene down here in the Manhattan Beach Open, and why not? Super high free ball. Stepping in is Crabb. Trap set right out the gate, and Benesh, easy winner. I think Taylor Sander tried to overcompensate for the win, because that might as well have just been a free ball over the net.
Yeah, they definitely have the win in their face on that side right now.
6 serving to 4. Ball has to go over, and knocked it off the block is Andy Benesh.
Yeah, with that short serve that we talked about before, you see Taylor running up, and then he's doing a great job backing off to get enough runway for his approach, because both of these players like to take a long approach to the ball.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing is Taylor Sander is touching everything. Even though they didn't get that point, he's getting a hand on every single ball that Andy and Miles are putting in. 5-7 after shot by Sander. As we got Beyonce rocking in the background here. It's a club scene, Club Manhattan. Really high pass. High ball in the middle, but the double called immediately by our R1, Richard Blue. Or Rich Blue, and our second referee is Ted Grissom.
You could hear the crowd on that set, the ooh went with them.
They know a bad set when they see it. They too took the YouTube refereeing class.
Haven't we all?
Andy Benesh throwing a little fire down the line. 8-6 on the turn. Do you get the sense that teams are still feeling each other out here, Corinne?
Yeah, I mean, these teams definitely know each other, but it is early on. It's a new win. It's a new day. You always want to test out who's playing well, who's feeling it. The Taylors, you know, won this tournament last year and won in Huntington, so definitely on fire, and Miles and Andy coming from the Olympics. So
love the chat room here. I'll get to it. Oh, and look out below. Taylor Sander with a rock and roll. 7 looking at 8, and I got to go to the chat board because T20S, I love it. We'll say expletive, Miles, sign that ball if you're going to hold it that long. Oh, I love engagement here. 9 service. In his defense, he was an indoor setter, so he's still adapting.
although indoor setters like to get it out quick.
Joust one out by the beast, and he's flexing. How much you'll bench Ta.Crabb? A little showmanship there.
Got a good look at the bicep.
I know that thing is like, I think you could probably wrap a little earthworm around it. It's so big. And the ball misses just along the wind. I thought it had it drop faster than normal, but it is 9-9. That was close. What I thought was going to be waffled up in the stadium court. T20, yes, you're right. Ta.Crabb doesn't lose a joust because he's got so much volley IQ and knows his physics. Last contact and just the right amount of force to force it into the block to get that winner. When I work indoors, I have a hardcore data volley analyst next to me. Not that Corinne isn't a hardcore volley nerd analyst, but they break it down for me because they were a stats and math major. 10 serving to 9, Benesh back to serve. I feel like Benesh is not playing very clean ball here in the first set.
I think they're just settling in. I mean, we always say, with my partner, we're always saying, until that first tech, we're settling into the game. We're letting the game develop. We're trying things out. You definitely want to be aggressive.
Now at that first tech, it's 11-1. You got some problems.
Yeah.
Or 20-1 at the technical timeout. Great dig by Partain. Partain goes to the uprights of Crabb, and he's mad at himself because he had the perfect position to get the overhand dig. 11-10 as we go into technical timeout. Corinne, what are we seeing here early on here in this part where you're trying to feel things out here?
Yeah, I mean, this game is definitely going back and forth. I think we can expect that at the beginning of this set. But I think we'll start to see which team starts to pull away a little bit. Both of these teams doing good things. Actually, surprisingly, on the good side, I'm seeing a lot of errors. Service errors, hitting errors on that side. That would be the side closest to the pier, furthest away from the stadium. And I think once teams start to settle in on that side and make a few less errors, we're gonna see how that shakes out.
Well, I mean, there has to be the added element that you're playing in the Manhattan Beach Open and the size of the crowd that's coming around to watch your match. Does that play influence to what you're doing on the court as an athlete?
I think it does, but these athletes have played at the highest level. I mean, Miles and Andy just played underneath the Eiffel Tower, so I feel like they know how to handle pressure, and Taylor and Taylor are the first team in for the league for sure since they won Huntington Beach, so both these teams know how to handle the pressure. They're used to the crowds. And
you did bring up a great point. Well, this is just the Manhattan Beach Pier. They played in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Although I've said it, this is the tournament I think people would love to win the most outside of the Olympics or World Champs.
11 serving to 10. Miles Partain back to serve here in set number 1. Still not an elimination match, though. Loser goes down to contenders as Sander almost takes down the camera stand.
Yeah, there's another error on the what should be the good side. Maybe hoping the wind takes it a little bit more than it is right now.
.12 serving to 10 and going to the short serve off the cable. Crabb gets underneath it on the pass, and Crabb one-hand stab by Partain. And Partain going, I've never seen this before, over the top of Taylor Sander.
Yeah, Andy let everyone know that too.
Remember back in the day?
That is an incredible reach by Miles to get over Taylor Sander. Definitely not a small block on that side.
Got 6'3" against 6'5". Pretty good battle up top. Excellent set by Sander, and going for the twisted wrister is Taylor Crabb. I think it would have disjointed my hand off my wrist if I tried a shot like that, and he had so much range on that.
Oh, asking where I've been.
Earth.
Yeah.
Corinne has been on Earth.
No, I've actually been recovering from a little surgery, but I'll be back this October.
Oh, little showboating, little hocus pocus action. Partain goes up for the faux attack and sets it to Benesh with no block. Oh, they asked about your partner too, but that's on the down low. Taylor Crabb, oh, he sold that. Taylor Sander came in hot with a fast approach and went in hard and went to the soft top roll. 12 serving to 14. Go team Squiggle Rob. I love it.
Adding in Sarah there with the S, the squig.
Sarah doesn't like me though.
Oh, yes, she does.
Got to see them both play in the Laguna Open Finals last year. It's such a fun event, but they were, and I'm not saying because Corinne's right next to me, but they were playing such great volleyball. They were smooth and just executing everything. Oh, gotta love that angle. When you have a good, experienced block going up against you, Corinne, what's your strategy? What's your mindset? Do you like go for broke, like rip it?
Yeah, it's definitely, it depends on the blocker. You know, some people are better at swap blocking, some people are better at getting in front and clamping on the hitting. Some people are very well-rounded blockers, so it definitely depends, and I think we're looking at two very well-rounded blockers here.
Benesh going up against a late block of Sander. I wonder why he waited so long to jump on that ball. Maybe he thought it was gonna drift over. How do the wind's kind of changing directions here? Because I'm watching the flags and I don't know. It changes strategy real time here. Like that float serve technically should have dropped with the amount of wind, but it ended up sailing long.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few missed serves from that side, which the ball should be dropping a little bit more, so it might be a little swirly on the court.
Oh man, we're getting way too intellectual on the chat room. Pythagorean theorems being dropped on there. Don't make me call the nerdy analysts I work with. Benesh going cross court, and another overhand dig by Crabb, which is usually is one of the best defenders and great ball control, but just seems like those are normally up for Ta.Crabb.
Yeah, I think Miles and Andy are doing a really good job moving the ball around and kind of catching the defense not perfectly set up. So they're still having to move, and it's hard to be in motion setting up your defense.
He still got I thought he got his hands on that, because Sander was falling back, and I thought I saw Andy's hands break because he was swinging high. But I guess it's just an out ball, 18-14. That's why I don't referee. There's that short serve. Oh, and he goes over on one. And Benesh says, return to center. Not enough postage, get out. 19-14. I saw that happen in an indoor men's game this year. 6 defenders, the guy served the ball, and the athlete set it in area 5, and it landed in an empty spot because that's where the server was going on defense. He's appreciating his float serve a little too long. 15-19, great float serve. Ace, no, save by Miles. Crabb goes deep corner pocket. 16-19.
So we see that pass from Andy. We know that they're trying to pass a little bit wider and forward so that they can run their onto option defense or for their offense. And so it's definitely interesting. When he misses, it looks like quite a bit of a shank, but he is aiming to the side a little bit as long as he's pushing it to the net.
I'll say, it's being used so often, you can't even really say it's unconventional volleyball anymore.
Right, it's getting more common on every level.
Partain with a swing, and we have our first set point for Benesh and Partain. Going back to serve is Andy Benesh. Benesh and Partain, interestingly, are the number 3 seed. The Taylors are the number 2 seed here. Again, this is not the end of the road for the losing team here. They just drop into the contenders bracket. Good save, but unfortunately goes out of play, and that concludes set number 1 as Andy Benesh and Miles Partain take it 21-16 and lead our best of 3, 1-0. Gonna throw it over to Corinne, and so what she saw out there from the athlete viewpoint.
Yeah, a lot of good volleyball here. I like the serving from Andy and Miles. I think that they're running their offense the way that they want to. The Taylors are getting stuck a little bit on defense because they're moving the ball so much on offense. So if they can start clamping down on a few of those and also siding out pretty quick, I think this game will be a lot closer.
Going into the chat room, like, dude, Sander grew up in, was it Arkansas? Like, no, it's Corona. That's real close, though. No, that's not nice. Actually, they're a super nice family from Corona, moved to Huntington Beach. Mom is a Kiwi. Dad from out here as well. The Bug, obviously from Hawaii. A frequenter over at the Out Rear Canoe Club.
Playing on the baby court.
So as far as the action we've been seeing, we've been like pretty much focused on court 1. But have you been following any other action so far? And like, we'll say even like stadium court, any big matches stick out for you result-wise?
Yeah, I mean, we just had an upset on the women's side of Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes losing to Savissimo and Abby Van Winkle, who just played a phenomenally stable game. I mean,
what was the score of the second set?
It was 20. It was late, 27.
28, 26.
Yeah, maybe you're right there.
And it was a huge, huge win, and you could hear stadium court just going bonkers. We're ready to start out the second set. Miles Partain back to serve. Brutal on the chat board right now. I can't even say it. That ball, it's a lot of movement off the set, and sunglasses flying all over the place. Sander with a good swing off the block of Benesh, and good sportsmanship. We checked in on each other there. 1 serving to 0.
It's funny, I said Kelly Clays, and it's Kelly Chang now. That was her old name back in college before she was married.
Rocking it out of the left pin is Andy Benesh. 1 serving to 1. And he was committed to that angle. There is no doubt that he was swinging that hard. And Crabb was right there, but there's enough heat on that ball for him to, or too hard for him to get it back up. Great serve by Benesh. And Sander going off speed.
Really good vision from Taylor on that ball.
Taylor Sanders, well, actually, both Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander are super freaks when it comes to volleyball. They're always the kings of clutch in the indoor game. Great serve by Sander. Could be an ace. No, but it's Sander steps in to take the overpass, and Sander takes care of business. 3-1.
Yeah, that's a smart take by Sander. That's a big momentum switch if that one lands in.
You know, it's interesting because through every single contender event that we've seen this year, the Taylors start off slow. It's like they let their opponent get to around double digits, and then they turn it on as Sander fires off an ace. 4 serving 1.
Taylor's serve is such a weapon. And if they want to get Miles and Andy off on their side out, then that's what they need to do. They need to be serving aggressive from the end line, setting up their defense nice and early.
We've got an early timeout taken by Andy Benesh and Miles Partain. But they're not even serving from the good side. It's the crazy thing. Because if you're watching on the stream, the camera is in the south of the pier, and the wind is blowing from the ocean northward towards the pier. So that ball technically could have drifted out, but I'm sure it adds to the pace of the ball.
Yeah, I definitely think the wind, because it's coming from the ocean a little bit from the south, that side where Miles is on right now and where Taylor Sander is on is the harder side. I think Andy and Taylor Crabb are both kind of sitting on that good side currently, but I would still say the side closest to the pier is better than the south side.
So the timeout most likely to slow down the momentum by the Taylors. But well, technically they're a relatively young pair, even though they've been playing together pretty well, our Miles Partain and Andy Benesh. 4 serving to 1, winding up is Sander, and another one, Souvenir. The crowd loving this serving run by Taylor Sander.
Andy and Miles looking for solutions to this aggressive serve here.
It's almost like he's putting a side and a top spin on it when he contacts it. That one drifts over towards Miles. Miles cutting, overhand dig goes over the net, picked up. Miles looks and drills it down the line. Chicken wing dig goes the wrong direction. Point and switch at 5-2.
Miles, that's a great run.
A lot of hard hit balls off serve and on the attack here in our second set already. The Taylors trying to get the equalizer to force the third set tiebreak. Oh, that great short serve. Chester dug by Sander. Ball goes up and over. We'll see what happens here. Partain bounces it into the crowd.
What a beautiful set by Andy on that first ball. You have to have a lot of confidence to take that with your hands.
Well, with that approach by Miles, he was stutter stepping, like, oh, he's going to set it, but then he ended up just throwing his arms up on the attack. 3 serving 5. Another short serve. Good pass by Sander. Sander going wrist away right onto the nylon. There had to be the smallest of windows to get that shot down.
Yeah, but good hitters like Taylor Sander can see those windows that Andy's given him and take advantage of it.
Good serve in that area 5 line, and Partain goes off of Sander, who was holding, thinking the set was going to go to the outside pin because you could see him leaning to the outside. Then he realized Miles was going to hit it.
Makes the blocker's job so hard over there when you have the on-two and spreading the ball back.
Ta.Crabb pulls back on the swing, but Partain there on the pickup. Sander on the big block at the left pin. Overhand dig by Crabb. Transition ball, choppy. Excellent play, and the fans appreciate it. Nothing like a good transition dig when you have like missiles coming at you. Corinne's like, yeah, I got those all the time. 7 serving to 4. Oh, just missed long. What's your serving mentality as an athlete on the court, especially with the conditions where they are right now?
Again, it depends on the score. I'd say right now I like that aggressive serve from Taylor. I mean, he earned 4 or 5 points from it on this side, the other side. And I like him staying after it on that. I mean, he was getting Andy and Miles uncomfortable on side out, and that's exactly what he needs to do to take this to a third.
Eight serving to 5. Off the cable goes Crabb. Going cross body on the 2 ball is Benesh. It's like every single ball is like at the same height for that side, so you just don't know when it's going to come over on 2.
Yeah, and that's their game, right?
And in the earlier match, they're passing a really high first ball to the right pin. Well, depending on who was serving with. They're passing high to the pin so they could take an approach if they wanted to. And the attack misses wide. I think the crowd was wanting that to be in so they could do the oohs and ahs thing. There's no shortage for highlights for Taylor Sander, though. That's for sure. He just has the ability to bounce balls.
Yeah, his shoulder is one of the strongest on the beach, I'd say. I mean, he was an indoor on the Olympic team, so we know that he can swing at a ball. We can know that he can take that ball really high.
So it's a 1-point lead now, 7 serving to 8. Sander goes and strums the string in that deep corner, 9-7. So our earlier matches, I was hoping that they would go 3, which they did because they're so entertaining. This is another one. Kind of want to go 3.
Yeah, and we can expect that at this late into the winner's bracket, too. I mean, the 2 seed and the 3 seed here.
Andy Benesh with a good look at the block and chops at the outside hand of Sander. I just don't know if I'm getting new messages. Bandwidth here is so at an all-time high, so it's freezing everything on my computer. Good pass and a fake. Oh, the knuckle set, ladies and gentlemen. That is Ta.Crabb. Knuckle set action and the bomb by Sander.
Those are so hard to control, really. I've tried. So I'm always impressed when somebody can do it well.
Return package courtesy of the Sandman. Taylor Sander anticipating that 2-ball attack by Miles. 11 serving to 8. Oh, great fakie. Oh, he totally held Sander when Partain jumped on that and then threw the set out. Sander knew that he was in trouble.
Yeah, and that was such a nice pass. I mean, their passing is so high, and with the wind blowing just a little bit, it's so hard to control it like that. So that was a perfect side out by Andy and Miles.
Die Church, that was a jump knuckle pokey set. That's gonna be a hard one for me to remember. What happened there? We have a...
Ran the wrong route.
Technical timeout at 11:10. Advantage the Taylors up on the Olympians, Benesh and Partain. So we're still in the feel-out section here, based on our technical timeout score.
Yeah, I think the Taylors are doing a good job lining up early. They're kind of reading. It makes it so hard for the blocker. So Taylor Sanders specifically is doing a great job following the setter when he means to follow the setter and getting in front of the hitter when they set that ball. So also Crabb is such a great defender, and he gets to his defensive position so fast that he's able to kind of move as fast as the offense is moving. So very impressive defense set up by them right now.
Well, looking at the coaches' boxes here, definitely a dichotomy of coaching strategies. You have a very active coaching box in front of the Taylors, and over in the Partain and Benesh, just kind of in silence.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of times you know what you need to do in these moments, and you know the things that you have to implement. So Chris Vu on the side of Andy and Miles, and Evie on the side of the Taylors.
We've got 10 looking at 11 here in our second set. Benesh back to serve, and they've got a very active beach with some good matches happening. High roll, Partain anticipates, picks up the good pass off the dig. Great dig by Crabb. And Crabb! Welcome to Bounce Town. The crowd goes wild.
All of these athletes just so explosive.
He returned the Wilson ball back to the mothership because that's where the Wilson ball stand is at. 12 serving to 10. Sander, the 6'5" blocker. Benesh going off speed down the line. $11 serving to 12.
I like the Taylors playing their Hawaiian style volleyball. Taylor Crabb staying on the same side, away from the ocean when he switches underneath the net.
Going wrist away, great dig by Miles. Knuckle poke down the line by Miles. Ties it up at 12s. I mean, not very long rallies, but the defense that's being played is really fun to watch.
Yeah, and the offense spread as well.
Another short serve, but this one goes to Crabb. They're usually getting that to Sander, and a little topspin roller dropping behind the block makes it 13-12.
We're seeing that a lot actually when the set's getting tight. They're going down the line. They're trying to go to the side that Andy is taking with his block, and it seems to be working right now.
Getting into the meat of the set is what some people call it, the burger between the buns. Great dig by Crabb. High set in the middle. Crabb cuts it inside the block. He was like, Andy Benesh was like a sitting duck. All you saw was his hands, and Crabb just rolled it off the outside finger.
Yeah, really good vision.
14 serving to 12. Beautiful set by Miles, and why not eat it up like Benesh just did? You can read the Wilson logo perfectly. No rotation, great location. $13 serving 14. Going wrist away, great dig by Miles. Trap set. Is it miss wide? Misses wide. Why did I missed why Sander hit the net on that one?
I'm not
Is he
exactly
frustrated with
sure
something?
either.
They got the point.
Yeah, he might not have realized. But I love that change in Miles Partain. He's starting to pick up that the Taylors are getting a little shooty, so he's ready to run for that ball.
15 serving to 13.
Wow.
Nails a jump serve, but it misses long. Yeah, we need to start getting speed guns out here because I'm seeing faster and faster serves every tournament.
Looks like he's getting warmed up here, but that was an unbelievable serve and just less than an inch out.
It's definitely different from watching live versus watching on a stream or on TV. And the second ball attack misses long, tied at 15s. Uncharacteristic error by Ta.Crabb. Same ball on another attack error. Back-to-back errors.
I think we can expect a timeout there.
And we do have a timeout taken by the Taylors as they now trail 16-15 here in set number 2. Must-win set for the Taylors. It's your coach, Evie. What are you telling your guys?
Yeah, well, they know what to do. They just made a few unforced errors. I think finding their rhythm, getting back into that. It was a missed serve, and then a hit out, and then a hit in the net. So that's all within your control. So I think just letting this time, getting that momentum, slowing down Andy and Miles on their side, but you know, just focus on their side, what they can control on that side.
Really good crowd hanging around our court, which is court number 1. Everyone wanting to see the Taylors against the Olympians.
Yeah, Andy and Miles, this being their first AVP of the year, so they definitely want to do well for their, I mean, I'm sure they'll have enough points to be into the league, but looking for a spot in that league coming this fall. Taylor and Taylor already securing their spot in the league.
Well, one of the houses on the Strand actually has a banner in front of it. We're proud of you, Andy and Miles, draped in front of their house. Like, talk about being behind your athletes in your community. I just thought it was super cool that they would do that.
Yeah, so awesome.
16 served to 15. A deep question for you, Corinne. Let you read it.
It's a hot dog sandwich.
We have our first beyond the net violation called here this weekend on Benesh.
Wow, they don't usually call those.
Yeah, I know indoors, that's actually going to be a challengeable play next year, but is it going to be the same for volleyball?
I mean, it's always hard to challenge that unless you have that video challenge like they did at the Olympics. But if any part of the ball is within the plane, so it could just be just the sliver, then it's not an over.
Going thumb down on the pound is Andy Benesh. Good read by Crabb, but there's just way too much heat on that ball. Did you see your question, Corinne?
Yes, I do. I don't know the answer to that. Is hot dog a sandwich? It's got bread.
That's the deepest thought of the day for me right now. Now I'm stuck on hot dog instead of volleyball.
A lot of people talking about the coach of Andy and Miles and how they have changed coaches.
Well, their other coach is actually playing here right now too.
Oh yeah, Paul Lotman. But Chris Vu is the weight trainer, I believe. I've worked with him as well. He is an unbelievable guy, and he knows a lot about his volleyball, so.
Oh, the dig to kill makes an appearance on court 1. Ta.Crabb lined up in that angle, and it even broke his platform, but enough where he can get it to land right on that sideline. D2K, there haven't been a lot, but when it happens, it's excitement here for the crowd. 18-17 crunch time score here on court number 1. Missed just wide, tying it up at 18s.
Really going for that ace or error serve.
So Lungfish 655751 says, how does this sand compare to Paris? I wouldn't know. I've never been to Paris, but maybe you've played out there.
I mean, the sand is different. I wasn't there, so I can't answer that. But when they ship in sand from other places, usually it's pretty good quality. I'm sure for the Olympics, they asked a lot of the players what kind of sand they'd like. So I'm sure it's very similar, although at Manhattan Beach, we've got some really deep sand.
19-18 as you see Taylor Sander go blasting off the right side block. Yeah, I have to say, I actually met the person that constructed that Eiffel Tower court. Oh. I met her at Volleyball World working VNL.
Wow.
Woo, a lot of heat out of the right side by Miles.
And that's an important point too, either to make it 19 all or to give Taylor's a a set point, but we're tied up at 19s.
These guys are like what Kobe says, the Mamba. No expression on their faces, just play ball. And we have our first set point for Crabb and Sander. Set point served at 19. I wonder if he goes and rips it. He's been pretty aggressive from the service line. Yep. And goes into the net. And the crowd gasps. I think they wanted to see an ace.
Yeah, I mean, again, ace or error on that serve, and I like the intention behind it.
20 served at 20. The 6-2 Partain, or 6-3 Partain back to serve. That shallow serve coming back, and Sander off the top of the block. Set point serving at 20 as we're going into extras.
Andy slowing down the game a little bit, or maybe he does just have some sweat on his glasses, but good move. Make them think about their serves. They haven't been serving super consistently.
The AVP flag is standing even straighter than before. It means a lot of wind. High ball, and Benesh swings on two, and he delivers. Gosh, you could see the trajectory of that ball with the wind taking it on those high passes. We've got blackjacks, 21-21. Yak 928, 924. Is it possible to play at this level as a guy who is sub 5'10"? I would say yes. You look at Kristen Nuss, at least on the men's side for sure. Skylar Del Sol is another guy.
I know Leela Tucker as well is under 6 feet. Oh, Taylor Sander again flexing on him.
That's He-Man. That's what that is. That's not even Taylor Sander. He's the master of the universe. We have set point number 3, serving at 21. I have a feeling people don't know who He-Man is on our chat board. Sorry, dating myself apparently. He's a superhero who's buff, that's all. Great set by Benesh. Who said he was a middle blocker in college? He's a setter on the beach. We're tied at 22s.
Andy has made such great strides on the beach volleyball scene from where he started to now an Olympian.
Are you a hand setter or a bump setter, Corinne?
I do both. Hand setting now. I want to get into jump setting.
Service into the net. That makes it set point number 4, served at 22. How about a 32-30 set?
That would be exciting for sure.
Ball's passed way off the net. Trap set, and Partain able to take care of business even though it's drifting the other side. Score's tied at 23s.
Yeah, again, it's so hard to set your defense up against a team that's spreading the ball so far and where both people are attackers.
It's that Aussie style. They set pin to pin. High ball pin to pin. Beautiful set by Crabb. Soft drop and roll. Sander looks up at the crowd. Smarter, not harder. Is that the saying?
Yeah, he might have been a little early to that ball, but waited well and took the open court.
Set point number 5, serving at 23. Good serve. Benesh goes to his soft game too. And we're tied 24s.
One more point to the switch here. Again, it's so hard to point score against both of these teams really, but especially against Miles and Andy who move the ball so much.
Got Taylor Crabb heading over trying to get a wipe down here. Sweat and sand, that's called the corn dog effect back when I was growing up. Kids all drenched after going to the ocean, rolling all over the sand. Go to Sander. And Sander with a windmill swing at the outside. on the switch makes it set point number 6, serving to 24.
Taylor's starting to spread that ball as well on their side out. The Taylors are kind of moving on to what I would say is the good side from the win, but again, we haven't seen teams winning the majority of points on that side.
Benesh over on 2, and Crabb anticipates that 2-ball attack. Crabb in transition, dug by Partain, blind set, and Miles Partain makes the magic happen.
Come on, Miles, flex on him back.
25-25.
Wow, what an unbelievable play. 2 really good defensive plays, and Miles just taking an unbelievable swing into the seam.
Welcome to the highlight zone, from the defensive plays to the offense to put it away. And our scoreboard just went down.
Go.
Miles Partain going ballistic. And we have a reversal of fortune. Set point, match point for Andy and Miles for the first time. Great dig by Miles off the attack by Crabb. Let's see what he does in transition. Rolls it down the line, even better save, and Taylor Sander knocks it down, but we have a net violation called on Sander, which gives Andy and Miles the set, fighting off 6 set points to win it 27-25.
Wow, what an unbelievable set. We saw that change in score, but really good play by both teams. Taylor taking a rip on that last ball and just ever so slightly getting in the net. Man, what a great play. Andy and Miles had a great side-out game. They were spreading the ball. They got into some service trouble, or some serve-receive trouble, I should say, passing trouble. But they were able to come out of that and look good, even in the second set.
Well, with that, I only have the score over the second set, but it's 2-0. Falling in favor of Miles and Andy. With that, there's still life for the Taylors as they drop to contenders match number 57. While Andy and Miles jump into match number 60, played the winner of match 58 in our contenders. Still waiting to get some results, but that we're not done by any means today. We've got at least 3 more here coming up on court number 1. On our AVP Bally live stream. We appreciate all of you kicking it in the crowd zone, but stick around. As always, wait, there's more. So we will catch you on the hour as we get information rolling in and other results. Corinne, excellent job. Looking forward to working the next one with you. I believe I'm on there with you. The ladies are kicking me out, which I'd be okay with. I just sit here and watch volleyball. But everyone in the crowd zone, appreciate you hanging out and having fun with us, engaging. Be sure to follow the rest of the results on the avp.com site, as well as looking at the information on the league coming up at the conclusion of the Chicago Open starting mid-September. 8 matches with 8 city teams. 9th week will be the championship. We'll get some information once we have it about the upcoming matches, but we appreciate you coming on board. For Corinne Quiggle, I'm Rob Sparrow. Either see you in a little or enjoy the rest of your day.
I'm off one and I come back. Oh, okay. Okay. I gotta get a score sheet from Marcy. It's me and Suzanne.